Guys, welcome back to the Independent Investor Channel. This is super exciting for me. This is a great way for you guys without a lot of money to own higher price companies like Tesla, Amazon, Google. Every now and then I'll do a review of my M1 Finance aggressive growth portfolio. This is an awesome way to seek exposure without a lot of money to some of these higher ticket price stocks. I've made a couple moves in the portfolio you're going to want to stay tuned for. I'm going to drop you into M1 Finance now and we'll conduct the review. All right, so this is my aggressive growth portfolio within M1 Finance. This is what a lot of new investors are interested in. This has got your Amazon, your Facebook, and your Google and the like. The reason why I showcase these videos are to really provide some transparency on what M1 Finance offers as a broker and to provide some rationale as to why I use them in the strategic manner that I do. These are a lot of companies that if you tried to buy individually, carry with them a pretty higher than average stock price. M1 Finance provides access to those names. So without a lot of money, without a lot of starting capital, you can gain some exposure to some of these higher growth names. And make no mistake, capital appreciation is the paramount goal in this account. It's performing quite well. We're up over $2,600 of capital appreciation in this account, so it's doing exactly what I expect it to do. Please keep in mind that this is a fairly aggressive way of investing, and I control my risk by controlling the level of scale, okay? And what that means is, relatively speaking, I try to keep the value in this portfolio so it's not top heavy. In other words, the majority of my assets are contained within passive ETFs and within the dividend growth section of the portfolio. So very important to understand that this isn't the total portfolio. This is just a small aspect of it. So for you guys that may be looking to layer up, maybe looking to add an additional aspect of your portfolio, this is a great way of doing it and grabbing some exposure in a lot of those headline stocks that have been grabbing our attention seemingly every day for the last couple years, that just almost go up every single day. So these higher growth names do carry with it a higher risk tolerance. You can kind of see here, I haven't had this account but over just going on about 9 months anyway, since December of last year. But you can see here we were trugging along pretty good. I started the account at around $5,000 and was able to climb the account up to $6,000, only to see it go ahead and plummet all the way down to the low 4,000s before actually going on this recovery that we've been on for the last few months, and ended up at the time of filming this video at just over $7,800. We do have some strategic changes to announce to this account. I kind of made a mistake and got trigger happy on Tesla. I was up about 285% in the name. Thought it was time to render some profits, did so, and probably shouldn't have done that. Really went against my strategic goal of being passive in nature in some of these higher growth names. And you can see here as I scroll down, you'll see that I'm adding Tesla back into this. It really fits nicely into this portfolio, and that way we can grab it pre-split. So you can see here that I've got a funding of a $2,000 bill. I'm throwing that back into this portfolio, and I've adjusted the allocation to carry with it just a 12% allocation to Tesla. So we'll see this thing kind of shake out, and we'll see the pie expand a little bit. I'm toying with the notion of adding some value in here in Apple. It's almost become a high growth name, that also being due to split at the end of the month here, but I haven't made a decision on that. All good things to deliberate over. So you can see here the top end of the portfolio I've got at a 13% clip in Amazon. It's done really well here. It's returned almost a $500 bill. So fantastic for such a small amount, relatively speaking, invested in Amazon. This is a partial share. So it speaks to why I do this in M1 Finance. I'm grabbing this exposure to some of these higher growth names
that if you tried to buy them individually would cost you a significant amount of money. Now, I do own a couple shares, whole shares of Amazon in my larger taxable brokerage, but this allows me to dollar cost this partial share up. In other words, I wouldn't be able to dollar cost average those shares in my taxable brokerage account outside of just buying whole shares of the company. So this allows me to monthly add to Amazon and take advantage of some of the volatility when the stock price dips. Same philosophy with Facebook. Facebook has just done quite well, and can't complain about the prospects of Facebook long term. It's a great company. It's rendered, again, just phenomenal returns with such a small amount of money. And for you guys that are new to the investing game, this has got to be just an incredible eye-opener for you guys. I mean, what a great way, if I can put it in the most simple terms, to grab exposure to some of these great companies that we have nowadays with very little money. And it may just be an extremely partial share that you grab, but make no mistake, you are either a non-investor or an investor. And what I'm declaring to you here now, guys, even with a relatively smaller amount of money, I am indeed invested in each of these companies, and just a great strategic way of demonstrating to you guys how you can grab a piece of Google here. I'm only up $56, but you have to understand, I mean, this is a small position in a company that I would have had to have spent, you know, a larger amount. I think Google's trading at around $1,500 per share here. So, you know, if you want exposure to Google, this is a great way of doing it. NVIDIA next on the line, and you can kind of see how I've got these allocated. Adobe is probably the best out of this group, to be honest with you. This could actually be a value play. I think Adobe's at around 45 forward, so not too bad there for such a great company. And then Booking being the one that's still down a touch. I can deal with this, you know, with the recent downturn in the market due to the pandemic. CRM has just been on fire. It's really come back nicely. And I think I'm contributing to this account about $25 a month, so nothing too crazy. So, you know, very, very acceptable. Uber Technologies here, Alibaba, PayPal has been probably the top performer in this group. I kind of wish I would have just maintained my bigger position in PayPal, but nonetheless, we still are a shareholder in the company, and will allow this Tesla holding to go ahead and fund next week when the market opens. So that's it in a nutshell, guys. This is the aggressive growth portfolio. It's performing quite nicely with the funding going up. This ought to be flirting with the $10,000 threshold, and it'd be really nice to see this meet that goal. So hope you guys appreciated us rolling out the aggressive growth portfolio for you. I'll kick you back to YouTube, and we'll conclude the video.
All right, guys, so we've come back out of the M1 Finance review of the portfolio. We're going to be knocking on the door to 10,000 in this portfolio. We're adding a couple names back in that I just probably shouldn't have sold, but I roll those reviews out to you guys to understand the power of M1 Finance, understanding the opportunity of entering into some of the higher growth, higher aggressive stocks that are available on the market. This is a great opportunity for you to layer up your existing portfolio if you do want to seek a strategic opportunity like I have in just over 10 names. It's a great way of doing so. Guys, if you enjoyed the content putting through, want to subscribe to the channel, leave your comments at the bottom of the video, and share the message with anybody out there that you know may need some introductory information on the stock market. This is a great way to sit across from somebody like myself and get a great idea of what an established portfolio looks like. I'm very transparent on the channel, and it helps a lot of new investors understand what is the prospects of investing and what is possible by becoming an investor. Guys, thank you so much for tuning into the video, and good luck in your investment future.